Mic check. Okay. I'm going to try and tell a story real quick here. I just submitted this application to launch on proof. I'll try and explain what this means. I don't actually even know entirely what it means myself. I'm trying to figure this out. So here's how I found this proof thing. These are NFTs that are for sale. This one's for sale for like $15,000. And I'm going to try and convince them to maybe help me for free. If they know what they're doing, they might be able to help. But like NFTs, if you know what these are, I don't know. I'm still trying to figure all this out. It's crazy. Thinking about making a Discord mastermind community. I have it set up here, kind of. And so using NFTs are often used with mastermind communities. Like that proof seems to be, well, they called themselves an incubator on one of their pages. I think there was a website here. You could click on this little web link. Look at how many tabs I have open. I need to organize these, but so it's an incubator, launch incubator, which is sort of what I need. I don't know these guys, but maybe they can help. If they read what I said, they should be able to help. Okay, so I don't know what kind of stake they're going to try and take in my product or whatever they're going to help me launch. That's kind of like the big question. But okay, so I was taking notes in Notion about many things, and I finally got some clarity about this thing that I've been working on, and it's basically a video. Let me open DaVinci Resolve and show you at least a touch of the I think I can switch over the big screen here. It's cropped. I'm not sure. Oh, I can drag it around. Let's see if we can resize it while we're going. How come it? Oh, there we go. That's weird. Yeah, this is gonna look kind of janky, but I'm using OBS to try and fix the thing. I guess it's roughly centered. Okay, so my big wide monitor obviously looks funny, and that's OBS there. This stuff gets confusing, but okay, so here's... No, that was something else. Well, so this was the application that I sent. I think I was trying to copy over the stuff from the application to this Notion document, and it got a little messy, but like it's got a lot of the information in there that I was saying. So like that's interesting. And I could share this link. In fact, you could read this link and go there because it's a public website, but I could try and put that link in the description. But that's the application for that proof community. I talk about the web OS, talk about how I was a WordPress developer. It's a big idea that's basically integrating all of the things that software currently does, and it starts out very small. I have a working prototype that's basically like this one line of code. There's like arguably pseudocode, but there's a lot going on here. I linked to a video. They asked for a pitch video. I don't have a pitch video, but I have an hour-long rant about, I titled it Life, the Universe, and Everything, but it's basically just an introduction to me. And that's kind of cool that hovering this little YouTube link shows a preview, and you can play it right here.
So I can use the...
Oh, where'd it go? Come on, guys. Let's try that again.
So
if you hover off it, it just disappears. So you have to hover it. Okay. A little weird.
So I can use the YouTube app to
mode.
record a short video, and it uploads right away with...
So I was just ranting. It takes me a few minutes to get in there. By 10 minutes or so, like, I say some depressing stuff, and after a half hour or so, I think I start talking about software and all kinds of things. It's my question was, so it resets the playback. If you accidentally move your mouse off this thing and you were like some number of minutes into this hour-long video, not a great UX there, guys. Also, the layout here is just absolutely terribly broken. In fact, on my giant monitor, let's hit maximize. If I wanted to see this Notion page on on my giant monitor, it's this tiny little column. And you can send it full screen, and then it's like the opposite problem where it's just so freaking big. Here, let me do this. So I go up here. Let's flip back over to the other monitor and then go over here to the actual page here that I shared. Now it's in the settings, full width. So this has, you know, it's kind of cool in a way that it makes the columns wider and doesn't, you know, shrink them as much. But here, let's switch this back over to the other monitor, and now I have to find OBS buried in the programs and switch back to this one. Okay, so now it's full screen, but it's still kind of like way too long. This is way too long. Before it was way too short, and it's just, the images are giant because it's stretching them out. And then here's kind of like, so this is the full width. Like each one of these lines of text would fill this entire screen width because that's how it's set up. That's why there's not a single line that wraps, because none of them are long enough to fill this whole screen. Can you even see my cursor on this? I can't see my cursor. Where's my cursor? I'm lost. Holy shit. No, it's there. There we go. I see it. I'm looking like through OBS to see it. Recording setups are weird. It's really confusing what goes where and how it's all coming together. But yeah, so just a quick note about Notion and layouts. If you use Figma, you might like the idea of layouts. In fact, here's a cool little bit about layouts. We all kind of consume layouts, whether it's a mobile layout. This was a screenshot from, I think this was actually on PC, but they were doing mobile layouts. And so like I, you know, had like this tiny little, actually, why does this say, this is 100%. So this is how big it was on my screen. But again, pretty slim mobile layout for a giant monitor. And that was Substack, I believe. Anyway, so these layouts here, right? So for one, they stack up in multiple directions. First, we have like, you know, this vertical stack. So you can click on anything and duplicate it. It should stack up properly and stay in order and allow you to reorder things. Like those are, so this is auto layout that does this. It's kind of a cool idea. But there's a lot of caveats in terms of when things stretch and how they move and how they stack and how they duplicate and like the alignment of things. Like if I click on this, I think, oh, there's a nested frame. So if, it gets confusing, but essentially I think, there we go. I can top align or bottom align them. Now left and right doesn't seem to do much. It's more just top or bottom, but yeah, a lot of alignment and duplication. I made you know, if you nest things, you can kind of get some control over how it stacks up. But there's, and then the visual appearance of them. Obviously, like the background colors give a lot of like meaning to the content. So like visually, you're creating a hierarchy, essentially. Like you're creating space and you're putting stuff in certain places. And man, when it comes to these infinite layouts, you can't zoom out forever, but it can get pretty small, and you can zoom in not forever, but it can get pretty big. And so it's like you have a lot of space, and that's kind of a crazy cool idea. But yeah, so layouts are a thing. Can't tell you how much time I've spent with layouts. I want to make a web application framework. I have a lot of ideas. I've been making these designs, and well, so I was opening DaVinci Resolve a second ago to show you the Mastermind teaser. And well, so I could play this whole thing. I'll play the intro bit. For release. It's not what a mastermind community is, you can Google it. If you don't know what a mastermind community is, you can Google it. But it's basically a badass team of people with a specific goal. Now, is it badass? Right now, it's not. It's kind of like, this is kind of cringe. But it gets a little better. It's still kind of cringe. Andrew Carnegie was the original mastermind. He knew little about steel, but by bringing together the best steel minds in the world, he was able to create the world's largest steel company. I have a lot of ideas. Is the audio too quiet? Mastermind communities, but one thing I'd like to focus on is digital production, which is basically hiring people to make cool stuff that you can sell online. The audio sounds way too quiet. So if you're a designer, developer... Well, so I don't really want to play this whole thing right now. This is like my first real edit. Like it's probably the best thing I've ever edited in terms of just putting coherent ideas together. And there is some like graphic design going on there too. The future of the internet. I'm trying to make it epic and cool, but like I showed this to a few people and they did not think it was epic or cool just based on their reaction. And so I got a long way to go here, I guess. I'm trying to raise money to actually build the future of the internet and do a lot of cool things and make a lot of money. You know, there's this bit somewhere way over. Well, these timelines scroll way too fast. It's really almost impossible to do without. Okay, the side of my mouse wheel works. All right, so anyway, this is the big company illustration. I'll go through Apple, Netflix, Twitter, and Twitch, and Figma, and Notion, and then Webflow. And it's kind of like to scale, you know, the logos are to scale compared to the size of the company, at least from the information I could find on the internet. And so that's what I want to do. I want to create big companies. And I can do it with, well, I say in my video here, my favorite idea is the Web OS. Where'd it go? Where's this Web OS? There it is. Let's listen to that a little bit. So I have a lot of ideas, but by far the best is the Web OS, which is basically a web framework for creating all of the things. And I'd like to talk more about the future of the internet and technology and all of these things, but first I need to build an audience. If you're watching this as an advertisement on YouTube, so you can click the link, headphones? Or if this is not a... Alright, so I've already changed the that landing page. Didn't I pull that in? Yeah, this is the new landing page. Definitely looks a lot more cohesive. Even matches the YouTube play button a little bit. 0 subscribers. This was the old one with Victor, my imaginary alter ego. But okay, so I've been... I kind of finished this edit, like, and by finished, it's not actually finished. Like, there's just big dead spaces in between, and like these hanging parts that aren't really, I'm not sure if they're actually going to go in there, but like it was 80% maybe done. I mean, and so, but this was like a week or so ago, and I've been kind of sitting on it thinking about like, is this going to work? And I don't know if it will. I think if I just throw this out there as like a finished product and then people have to buy it as it is and think like, is this good enough for my money? Then it's like, no, like a lot of people are gonna be like, this is a little iffy. I'm not sure if I'm buying it. But, I mean, I think it's worth it. I'm looking for smart people to help me make a lot of money. I think that's one of the best ideas ever. But, one of these images is not like the others. Which one? Yeah, I don't know. I should just get rid of that one, right? Like, it's mismatched on that. So this isn't an actual interface. This is a video of an interface, so I can't actually click it and delete it. But I was thinking about deleting that one. I've thought about all these little things. Like, there's just so many decisions to be made. When you're trying to start a business, like, it's literally overwhelming number of decisions. Decision fatigue is what I was going to say. And so I want to tell people about how crazy this process has been and how it seems like there's spiritual resistance that's holding me back. And I don't really know what's going on, but like I'm so close to like launching and finally getting the right things in the right place to like get some money flowing. I wanted to actually make a product. I didn't want to beg people for money, but like it seems that life has kind of backed me into this corner where I can't focus long enough to finish a video, clearly. So I need help, but I'm not sure if, well, so where did I start this video? Let's go back to the Proof platform. It's a pretty cool website. I think the little pass thing here, like, it'd be cool if you could actually get a copy of this thing, like a real, like a credit card, essentially. In fact, it'd be really cool if it was like a bank card. When you join the community, you get the bank card. Maybe that's how banks got started. They were like clubs, and you get the card that was attached to some money, so you could actually like live your life in style. That's the idea of making money, right? And so I filled out the application, said it's gonna response within 48 hours. Okay. Yeah, that was I tried to get into LinkedIn earlier and it wouldn't let me log in. And I was like, no, screw it. It's not worth it. I'm not going to try and figure out how to log into that thing. And that's like a big mistake for LinkedIn. But yeah, so a lot of things going on. I don't know exactly what I was thinking when I started recording this video, because if I don't upload it as is, I'm probably not going to bring it into the editor and try and chop it up and make it useful. So like, I don't know. I used to upload things, but I kind of stopped doing that because nobody was watching them. It's a big problem with YouTube, I think, uploading and not seeing it. So I was thinking about this the other day. Here, let me pull open a Figma, see if I can illustrate this in real time. So I'm going to maximize Figma here. I'm going to grab a template. I kind of like this one because it's just got the two text thingies and it is pretty epic. And so the idea was, I'm trying to think which font to use, but dollars for views. Boop. That's the magic of auto layout, is if you set it up properly, the shit will position itself. And so that makes dragging and dropping easier, so that you can create little systems for designing stuff where you basically say like, hey, put these over here, or you know, nope, don't want that one or that one. And so by doing so, it makes it easier to remix and reuse things. So you could call this a template. Anyway, dollars for views is an idea that if you're watching, or maybe it should be for likes, maybe pennies for views and dollars for likes. Let's put that up here. Boom. Pennies for views. So if I have two of these, there's like this automatic auto layout. Usually you have to apply an auto layout and configure it for it to work, but they also let you do this little bit here where if you select two things, you can get this little dot that appears on either one. You probably can't see it very well, but anyway, that's what just happened there. Pennies for views, dollars for likes. This is real-time typos, real-time design here. I've never watched anyone design in real time. Most people don't like being watched. I've been streaming myself designing stuff. It's nobody watches it. It's crazy. I like my designs. I think they're pretty cool. That's why I made them. Well, so how do I get people's attention? I have a whole slide for that. Where's the Splat Man? Where'd he go? I know he's here somewhere. No. Where'd he go? I'm sure I have to find it here. I'm sorry, folks, but there's a slide that says how do you get people's attention online. It's in the video, and it came from here, so I know it's got to be here somewhere. Something. No, that's the smart people one. Where is the Splat? Oh my god. Oh, it's the one with the, yeah, it's this one. Haha, there he is. The purple Splat. How do you get people's attention online? These are little icon items. Those things are pretty cool. They're not hard to make, but they're not easy to make. And look, there's two different ones. Can you spot the difference? It's almost the same thing with a subtle difference. And yeah, I got a lot of ideas. I'd like to go through them. I think they're worth a lot of money. I think now a lot of them will take a lot of money, but we could talk about the ideas for free, which is a good idea. So that's the idea of the mastermind community. I need people to help me validate the ideas because I don't know what to work on next. So it needs to be sort of like a focus group or something. And the WebOS is the big one. It's like we can remake all the things. Where is the software slide? These things. We can remake all the things. There's only 9 of the millions of things we can remake. And these are like billion-dollar things we can make. I mean, there's so much value to be made. It's mind-boggling. And that's the burden of my failures. Like, I have so much potential, and I know it. I know the, value of all these companies is insane. Like, $1 billion company is absolutely insane. And so I could post this video. I could even run this video that I'm recording right now as an ad. And so if you're watching this as an ad and you've if you're watching, this is now 20 minutes later. If you've been watching this ad for 20 minutes, then maybe I'm doing something right. I've caught your attention. The question is, can I get any money out of you? Will you join my Discord mastermind community? Now, like, you can join for free, and you can pay money. You can go to the server shop, and sometimes this will load properly. I have a bunch of clips in that video where it doesn't load properly. Sometimes when you click around, yeah, it disappears and doesn't come back unless you like click to other pages, and sometimes it'll come back. But so this is the subscription for $10 per month, and the product for one-time $10 fee to become a member. That was just one way I was thinking about setting it up. It's like, I don't know if this is going to work. I don't know if anyone's going to show up. I don't know if I'm going to get a single sale. I think I have a lot of good ideas and we could create a badass community, but like, it takes somebody to join. I don't have any members. In fact, if I were to link this video to any page, it's going to be, let's see if I can actually find the web page. Where did it go? I have so many tabs open that, like, I'm sure if I just type it in here, Discord, Digital Mastermind, I'm sure it's this one. Bam. So this is the page that you would come to if you were to click the link on this ad. And if you're going to watch this ad this far and you're not going to click the link to check out this page, like, you're crazy. Watch this video at your own risk. I'll explain that in a second. No, I did. Didn't I already explain this earlier in this video? Life, the universe, and everything. It was that was the video I was hovering in that Notion document. I can link to the Notion document. I can put all this shit. I don't have a problem sharing stuff. All right, so 0 subscribers it says here, and you can join without subscribing. But if you scroll down, I think you can go right to the subscription for $10 a month. And I would spend all of that money on hopefully useful things to help me and help the community. So like, I'm not trying to just take your money to the bar or the casino and, squander it. I want to use it wisely. So I don't know if that encourages you or whatever. If you have $10 a month, like, if you don't have $10 a month, I mean, I'm not saying $10 is nothing, because you can get like a Netflix membership, and the content on Netflix is insanely good, and there's a lot of it. There's so much content on Netflix for only $10 a month or whatever it costs, 20, or I think it's going up, but it's incredible value, and it's so much value that like nobody has time to watch even 1% of the stuff on there to get the full value of their money or whatever. It's like abundance. It's abundance to almost infinity in terms of like human production. It's crazy. But I do not have great content. I've been actually failing miserably to create content. And you can watch, this is one of those failures. Like, I mean, if you click through, so here's a trick if you didn't know this. If ever you're like on an embedded YouTube video and you have this watch on YouTube button, like if you're trying to figure out the channel, so I think this link here, and you can't click on, oh, you can click the avatar. Okay, and it does go. It wasn't the hover cursor. You see how my cursor turns into a little finger? Cursor pointer, like there's an arrow pointer and there's a hand pointer. It makes you know that there's something that's clickable. And this wasn't, but it is, I think, different than clicking
app to record.
Yeah, clicking here stops and plays.
Short.
Clicking on the avatar, the image goes to the channel. There's not a lot here, actually. I tried a bunch of stuff, like just a bunch of random shit. But if you want to see more of my random shit, I did a bunch of live streams, thinking like, okay, this is just something I can kind of whip together and then it'll be there and people can watch it later when they find it. Like 11 months later, if your stream has 2 views, it's like, why did they even record it? Why did I even make it? This is the whole problem. So, yeah, I mean, I have my my webcam covered with this little cover here. This will be you want to see what I look like? Oh. I've thought about using like a face reveal as like some sort of way to like get people to pay money. I mean, at this point, I would do anything for like $10. I mean, I don't even want to joke about it. There's a new season of Black Mirror out, and there's some interesting things going on there. I've watched 2 of them. I need to watch the rest of them. But if you're watching this, you can click the link to go to the server landing page. It's not actually joining the server yet. Joining a Discord server is kind of a thing. Like if you don't know what Discord is, like you should join, and I can try and tell you what it is. Most likely, you know what Discord is, and joining a Discord server is like a whole adventure, right? Like you meet new people, you like have conversations with them, you might argue with them, you might get into fights, you might get kicked out, they might get kicked out. Like there's all kinds of drama on Discord. I just heard Discord's CEO step down. That's not a good sign for a company. And by the way, Discord's a cool piece of software, but it's not great software. Like it's pretty buggy, and it makes me nervous building a community on Discord. But let's look back over to Discord for a second and look at the Marvel Rivals Discord. Has like 4 million members, I think. It's absolutely crazy. It's a level 3 with 3,098 boosts. I actually DM'd people on here that were like server boosters. It's such a, like they have all these roles and colors and all this stuff, which I think is kind of cool. If you're into it, I think it's confusing. I don't even get it. Like this is a whole place where you can like meet up with people. And I've thought about jumping in there and trying to meet people, but that's like a big like question mark. Like who's in there? What am I going to tell them? Is it going to lead anywhere? And I'm not really prepared. I did start DMing a couple of them and was just asking them. I said, hey, it says you're a server booster. What does that mean? And the guy says, it means I'm boosting the server with Discord Nitro. They're paying money, like $10 a month or whatever, to have the ability to boost servers. And so it's just kind of this like very subtle pat on the back or something, or it's like a virtual high five. It's like, you're liking the server, but in more of like a, tangible way, I guess. It's kind of back to the idea of a social network with, proper monetization. Like, if you wanted to like a video, what if you actually gave them... Now, if you liked 50 videos per month and that costs you $50, that would be too much for some people. They're going to be like, no, I'm not spending $50 to like a few videos. And frankly, you should, because it's good for the system. But you could set your tipping amount for that month. So, like, basically your internet fund. Like, everyone should have an internet fund where, the most basic internet fund for every person should be like $10 a month. What if Google and all the big tech companies and the government decided, okay, we're going to give everyone $10 a month of like free money to spend online just to get like shit flowing? It would be like the best idea ever. It would be somewhat inflationary. There would be a lot of people getting rich, but like that's what we have right now. We have a lot of people getting rich, and it's actually really, really hard to do it because you have to like jump through a bunch of hoops to create a mastermind, or well, you could get venture capital. I don't know how hard that is. I don't think it's easy. I'm not sure if like my personality and my approach would work. I would basically tell them to F off, and like, if you don't want my money, I don't want you to, I don't want to do a pitch. Like, if you want my money, like, I'll tell you what I know and we can try and make it happen. But like, there's no reason to like beg for money. Like, I mean, that's what I'm doing right now, I guess. It's like, please join my Discord server. Okay, so the long depressing one. Let's go back over to the Discord server. If you happen to, well, you could watch it on this page, but if you happen to join and you didn't watch it or whatever, and people are, if anyone ever references the long depressing video, it's right here in the forum, and so you can find it. You have to click on the thing, and then it brings up this like little threaded chat thing here, so you people could create a whole conversation about the long depressing video. If you watch the long depressing video and you have anything to say about it, come here. Well, you could comment on the YouTube video itself, but like nobody has watched the video, nobody's made any comments. Just to prove it, let's go to the site and then scroll down. This is me. Watch until the end. If you've ever commented on your own video, as like the only one, just hoping that it like helps the algorithm. Like, come on, give me some love. This is so ridiculous. I have Elon level potential, okay? Like, this is what I say in this video, and then what I've been trying to tell people for years, but, well, the thing is prove it. And so I need to. I'm trying to. That's what I said in this video, like, quite specifically. Like, I kind of got upset and was yelling about it. Not yelling, but I was like, it's like, I've been trying, was what I said. I've watched this a couple times all the way through, and I actually enjoy watching it. We could have a watch party and watch the entire thing and let people ask questions or make comments or whatever. There's got to be something you don't like about it, and there's maybe something you do like about it. And so, like, creating a conversation about this one video might be a good place to start. This is me. This is my life, and I don't usually enjoy it. And so, like, well, I have a problem with cannabis and coffee, caffeine. And right now I'm pretty wired on energy drinks and gummies. So, like, that's maybe part of my problem. It's part of my tendency to dream big, but also my tendency to lack focus. And so this is a 30-minute video. If you're still watching this, you're crazy. But like, I mean, I would watch this video, even though like my office is messy, right? That's a steam room, by the way. I was just thinking, not a gas chamber. It is sort of like a gas chamber. I did this in a video I recorded the other day, but like, I'm getting deja vu. That's the steam hose, and that's a knocked over steamer. Oh no, it didn't leak. Mother. Oh my god, it's leaking everywhere. Holy shit. I'm gonna have to clean that up. I looked over there and I was like, oh, I hope that's not leaking, and it didn't look like it was leaking. I didn't see any water, but it was buried on the other side. So that's my steam room, and we could talk about all kinds of things. I think everything that I've showed you so far is like, I'm an interesting person. I've been working hard on all kinds of stuff. I have skills, like digital production skills. I want to create a digital production mastermind server. I want to hire people on Upwork, maybe Fiverr, but I need money. I need a budget. I need to be able to like spend $1 million and see if I can get another 2 million back. All right, we don't have to start with 1 million. Let's start with 1,000. I think I could spend, well, I have $600 in my PayPal account. My plan has been to spend all of it, like just go all in with something. Maybe this is the video, but the problem is this one's not edited. And so now I have this like decision to make. Like, do I bring this video into an editor and spend a day or 5 editing it and trying to get it to look right and sound right and put that little like intro and, do I use the Fur Elise? The reason why I like that Fur Elise song in the video is, hold on, I gotta get OBS on the other screen here. And no, this actually is DaVinci. It's crazy, but I wanted this one. Okay, so let's listen to the music for a second. Make cool stuff that you can sell. Why is it so quiet? Is it that one? People to make cool stuff that you can sell online. So if you're a designer, it's a Fur Elise remix. Here's the part where it gets kind of cool. I don't love Discord, but it will be a good place to create a community. By the way, Discord as a company was valued at $15 billion, and at some point, I'll be looking for software people to help build a better Discord. And we can take a piece of that $15 billion pie. So I have a lot of ideas, but so that's basically it. But yeah, I mean, I thought that was kind of a cool edit, and I don't know if you noticed this this line around the edge of this video. So I had this idea where I could use Figma to create slides and record presentational videos without any editing, just using Figma and then going full screen, but I got this little line around the edge and it completely ruins it. I mean, I could just zoom it up a little bit and crop it off, but yeah, it's an easy fix. But it's just disappointing. It's like when you set well, you could jump through hoops trying to like fix that. Like, how do I get the line to go away? and you could spend like days or weeks, not figuring it out, and it just ruins your productivity. Like, little fucking things just suck. So subscription for $10. Yeah, I've recorded all these bits a bunch of times, and it's kind of exhausting. I have a bunch of different timelines here. I'm not really sure this is gonna like. So let's think about this. Should I launch this video as an advertisement? So again, if you're still watching, and okay, if you're watching this far and you haven't clicked yet, you can click and then watch the long depressing video, or it might be a different teaser video. I might change it up. That's what I was writing down. Is like, okay, I could make an ad that actually says that, like, this video might be this long depressing video and show like the landing page with that video, or it might be different if I'm going to try and reuse this ad or whatever. Running the ads, I need to put OBS over here so I'm looking at the camera. I want to be able to switch the ads, try different ads, and try a different teaser video. And those ads can show the landing page and be like, click the teaser video, or like, click the part 2. It's like kind of the easier way to say it. Like, if you want to know more, click part 2, or watch the second part, or whatever. And so the ad is like part 1. That's the actual teaser, right? It teases the idea, and then the part 2, after they've clicked on the ad, now they're not even on YouTube anymore. Now that could be like a half an hour long video. It doesn't need to be, but like, I'd like to focus it up and make the onboarding and new member experience like spectacular, where it's like, whoa, this is cool. And it's not Discord, it's like my own site. And I don't know what that site would be, but imagine if like a x.com or something was like this badass membership card, and some guy, like Morpheus like guy, was like, hey, meet me at this place and you can join this community, and it's like the best thing that ever happens to you, and like, it's actually this group of billionaires who are ready to help you become the best person you can be. I mean, that's a pretty easy thing to do if you're a billionaire. And so well, I don't think it's going to be super easy for everyone, but it's not going to be hard to at least set up, if you have the money and you realize that it's worth doing, that individuals can make billions of dollars if they're inspired. Now, frankly, they might need the struggle aspect. The struggle is what is like forced me into learning all this bullshit. And so that's kind of crazy, because the whole idea that like the struggle of life is like God's plan for you is it's a bad idea, because my life has been actually miserable, and well, it feels very, 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 very stressful, unbearable, and it's hard to put in words, because the amount of stress varies, and it goes from extreme and unbearable to like, uncomfortable to like sometimes not there, but usually way worse than it should be. And after decades of fighting, it gets hard. And so I've thought about putting this little bit. Are you ready? Brace yourselves. I don't know how to word this properly, but and I'm not alone in the house right now. My wife is upstairs, so I don't really want to get too out in the weeds. You're not seeing my screen, and I kind of felt like you were, or at least I was scrolling around as if you could see this. All right, so yeah, this one is there's some serious topics that I'd like to talk about, and I'm not sure exactly the right setting, because not everyone is going to be interested in all of the topics, I guess, is the easiest way to say it. And so creating like discussion groups or whatever about all the things that I am interested in is part of the objective here. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I'll say this. Like, truthfully, I feel like life is rigged, and I should have been able to succeed by now, because, well, and it's feeling more and more likely that all of these ideas are obviously true. Like, if you were a god, or even just somebody in the afterlife who's played the game of life before, and you've watched humanity go from, cavemen through technology, through smartphones and internet, and like if you've seen it all before, then you know what's going to happen, right? So, well, you wouldn't be allowed to play because then you'd be Elon Musk and you'd already, like know all the things, right? So like you'd know how to set up gigafactories or whatever, and you'd know how to create better software. And so in a way, like I do feel like maybe I'm inspired by my spirit, and but it's been a really long, slow, hard journey to try and learn how all the like learning web development and coding and design and trying to piece them together and come up with this vision for the web operating system that kind of seamlessly integrates all the things. It does seem obvious once you kind of like think about it for a few decades, but it took a long time to get there. But I guess the point I was trying to make was, I don't know. I feel like there's this like cynical asshole spirit that might be God that is holding me back, like laughing at me for not succeeding by now. And my life has been actually miserable and depressing and embarrassing, and I have tons of videos to prove it. So like, if you want to watch my videos, you can check out my YouTube channel. There's only so I have like 4 or 5 different YouTube channels, and only a couple of them are on there. But there's some stuff on the one that's linked, and I can throw the other ones in the Discord, no problem. I've been actually asking people to follow me, and like nobody will do it. And it's like, is the YouTube algorithm broken, or do people just find me so cringy that they don't want to listen to me? And I think it's maybe a little bit of both, but that's the problem here. So I have all these ideas that like, it's like, man, I should say this at some point. Like I've always, if you feel like you don't have a voice, like you have these ideas that you've thought about turning into a video, maybe you've tried or just at least thought about it. It's crazy. And if you haven't tried and failed, like it's not easy to try put a lot of time and effort into something and then not get anything out of it. And if you keep doing that, like keep trying and keep failing, and then the problem with YouTube and life in general and success is that you see everyone else being successful. You go on YouTube and every video that's recommended to you is like 10 million views, 10 billion views. And then you post something and it's like 1 view. Like it's like, oh man, I suck, right? And so, well, what if we can create a social network that actually encourages people to post, and then you have a feedback loop where it's like, okay, that was good, but it could be better in these ways or whatever. And if you want to get like, instead of 10 views or 100 views, if you want to grow to 1,000, if you want the algorithm to promote your stuff more, like you got to either find a better audience that's interested in it, or do a better job, or whatever. Like, right? Like, I mean, some of it is like uncertain and long term and subjective and whatever, but okay, so 42-minute video. Try and keep an eye on the time. I don't have a plan, I'm just making this up as I go. But the thing is that I've been stuck in this like thinking, and analysis paralysis, I guess you could say, is one kind of quick and easy term to throw on it. But it's complicated. It's like, have I not been trying anything? No. It's like, have I been overanalyzing? I mean, not really. I usually try and just get back to like focus. Like, what am I doing? Is it going to work? What should I do next? But then brain fog is one way to kind of call this, just like uncertainty and lack of mental energy. And so it's kind of the opposite of a flow state. Like if you can get yourself into a state of flow where the creative energy is flowing and you have good ideas and you're like, okay, I know what to work on. This is going to work. Like that confidence comes to me very, very frequently and sustainably with coffee and cannabis. The problem is that it's sort of like a trap where, I'm led to the water, but I'm not allowed to drink. It's like, here's another great idea, but then, when it comes time to actually making it happen, it doesn't work out. And this has been the loop of my life for like 10 plus years. And this is kind of why I feel like it's rigged, is it's like, am I getting help? Like, am I supposed to do these things, or am I supposed to fail at them? Because I'm not sure if I could have succeeded at any of the things I've set out to do. So those are big questions. Struggle, failure, suffering, and suicide. So if you want to talk about those things, you can join my community. Anyone can join my community. It's free. If you're still watching and you're not going to join my mastermind community, you're crazy. Like, I wouldn't understand. Should I run this as an advertisement, unedited? That would be crazy. Would be interesting to see how long people watch it. And so here, let me let me maybe do this, but all right, where's this monitor? Let me show you kind of how this works. I have run an ad for this video. Didn't even have a title, but I mean, I don't think that really matters. This one had 2,000 views, more than 2,000 views. It's because I 3 likes. I boosted it with ads. I went into Google Ads, I ran an ad, and so 2,000 people saw it. What's crazy though is that I had like, so this was an idea to send people to Gumroad and get them to give me some money. And
I'm thinking about making a little Gumroad page to sell a YouTube video.
that was my scheme a year ago. It's basically like, okay, if I can't make YouTube videos that will make me money or get me an audience, you know, just organically, what if I can convince somebody to buy into a good idea? And now the idea is like right there, sell an idea with Gumroad, like a YouTube video. Sell an idea via a YouTube video. So you turn your idea into a YouTube video, then you sell somebody that idea via, you know, basically the video that explains the idea. You put a little paywall in front of it and say, hey, $5 for this idea. And I called it the internet. Well, this one was, I don't know if I say it in here, but it sort of became like known to me as the internet marketing experiment. I just was boosting this ad. When you clicked on it, you'd go to the Gumroad page. And when I first started, this was just one of my video logs. I just started thinking out loud, but halfway through it, I'm like, wait, I could use this video as the ad. And so this was the birth of like the organic, you know, scheming, where you just are like in the midst of thought, you push record to start getting ideas into the computer, and then it turns into something. So what was I gonna say? The thing is on this, so this promote button, I've tried those before. It works a little bit differently than the analytics here. That's what I was looking for. So you can go to watch time, or is it engagement, average view duration? Wait, what? I don't know what these are. This is like based on the date. Here's the fall off. Okay, this is the one. What do they call this? Audience retention. This is, you know, very interesting, and it's, well, the shape of this curve is remarkable, and I think all videos are going to have something like this, where in the first 2 seconds, 3% have dropped off. By the time you're 26 seconds into the video, only 18% of people are. This is this video. But nobody bought my $5 internet marketing thing. That was the crazy thing. 2,000 people saw it, and let's say 20%. Yeah, I guess most of them. Not a lot of people watched the whole thing. Like 5%, 4%. Well, I guess, yeah. So like 4% of the people might have finished it. 3%. A lot of people dropped off. They're like, nah, not for me. So out of 2,000 people, is that 80? My math is not good. All right. Let's put a calculator on the screen and it's 2,200 viewers times 0.03%. 66 people finished the video, I think is what that said. Yep. Okay, so of those 66, not a single person wanted to buy my internet marketing idea. And I guess rightfully so. This was, you know, it's pretty rough and whatever. But what I was also thinking about this is that YouTube told me Gumroad told me that, like, I thought it was thousands of people saw my thing, and I don't know if I'm gonna be. I think I called it this one. Oh yeah. Ooh, what was that number? 11,000 visits. What? How is that possible? Because if the video only got 2,000 views, I never really connected these dots, but like, how is there 11,000 clicks? There's 11,000 visits. They registered the page, loading 11,000 times. This is bullshit. This is such bullshit. I never really thought about this. I knew. Well, in the ad campaign, I think it said it was showing the impression like 100,000 times. Like it was, there were some big numbers, and so I was just kind of rolling with it and whatever. The $5 revenue, by the way, was me. I bought the only. Well, it says there's 4 sales. I don't really know, but I think I threw $5 at it. So one of the sales was me. I think I set it up so you could buy it for free. I was just trying to get something going. It's not about the money, folks. It's really not. I need money, but if you don't want to give me your money, don't. Like, money is hard earned, and I want to turn money into more money. That's the whole idea here. But this number, 11,000 visits, and essentially 0 sales. Like, I know it says there's something here, but there's really not. It's kind of crazy. I thought they're all bots. They have to be bots, right? Either bots or kids, but like that's a lot of friggin', like that means it's got to be like 80% bots, because well, you wouldn't. I find it hard to believe that 11,000 people would click on the video to go to the page. These are people who clicked on the ad video to go to the page, and it actually loaded the page. It was an actual web request. Like, they loaded the friggin' page, and so that's why it's registering as a visit. I think. Like, that's what I thought. But if there's only 2,000 views on the video, I find that hard to believe. Now, I do think there are click farms where there's people who basically just watch videos and click ads. Well, it's probably like an app monetization thing where, like, if you're using the app and the app shows you an ad and, the person clicks on it, then they get money for it. So it's sort of like a scam where they're scamming advertisers for clicks. But it makes you really suspicious about running ads. Do you want to run ads and pay money to get views when, like, they're clearly bots? You don't, obviously. All right, so Gumroad is one way I've thought about making money online. Thought about making content. I have made content. I've live streamed. I've done web development. I've created a video game prototype that I haven't really shown anyone because I just didn't get around to it. And I've done like a million other things and just struggling left and right to do anything with my life. And it's really, really depressing. And I mean, I do have a problem with coffee and cannabis. Let me see what time it is, because the kids are going to be home in like 20 minutes. So I have a few minutes to show you this little thing here. I don't know if you're even allowed to do this on a YouTube ad. I don't know if I'm actually going to upload this as a YouTube video or run it as an ad, but I'm kind of thinking about it. And these are my, they're called Fry-Yay gummies, 10 milligrams each, just kind of a lot. If you've never done this before, don't do 10 milligrams. Get started with like 2 until you feel it, and then 5, and then 10 if you really want to. Did 20 the other day because they weren't working, and that was kind of a trip. And I take notes, and like I have so many notes about all right, so here's just one of them. So how crazy am I? And then this says the unbearable burden of my massive potential and my chronic failure. It's like all that failing that I was just telling you about. It's like, oh my God, I've been slowly giving up on life, and it's just trying to hang on to like the little responsibilities that I have to. Like, I'm a dad, and so I have to do certain shit. Like, we're going to the post office in a few minutes to get passports. Again, this is the 3rd trip to the post office. I think the post office needs a better system. I translated this underneath. My life sucks because I want to be rich, and I'm not. And then I crossed out rich and said successful. But I do want to be rich. That's why I want to be successful. They're kind of the same thing. So the ad and the teaser video and all the Mastermind Discord ideas I have. And I was just, I'm trying to figure out the right messaging. And I can't do it. I mean, I don't think part of me says, like, it doesn't matter. My last real effort was the internet marketing experiment. And so but now that I look at all those bots, it's like, really, am I going to spend money on this? Now there's banner ads. I can show you some banner ads that I made. I think I have them right here in Figma. This might backfire on me, but let me see if I can find them again. Yeah, here we go. So this is Victor Pexel. He's that alter ego I sometimes work with. Where did they go? They were here a second ago. No, this isn't it. Oh, here, ads. Okay, here we go. So banner ads come in many different forms, and putting a button on it is a good idea, and having a good message. I think that's awesome. It's worth the click. Just click on the button. Seek success. And yeah, I've done banner ads a little bit, but I think that the banner ad could just link to the Discord landing page, and so I could try a lot of different things. I could try to get my cam back up here. I could try. I've tried a lot of different things. I could try a lot of different things. I think if I had people helping me out, giving me feedback, positive feedback, encouragement even, then I would succeed a lot faster. Right now I have 0 subscribers. I asked my Uncle Tim if he would subscribe, and he said yes. And so I should follow up with that and get him to subscribe, because like right now, it's all I got. But I showed at one point the screenshot of my PayPal account. I do have $600. Not that you need proof of that. It's some sort of amazing feat or anything, but I would like to spend a few $100s a month maybe, just to kind of like, I think once I get that money flowing, and maybe like I've spent $100 here, $100 there, even like a few $100s in a month on just stupid internet scheming, but trying to get something to pop, right? Like it's a lot of risk, but potentially a lot of reward if it works. Anyway, the $100 a month thing stands out to me as a good idea, is because once that's flowing, and once I know like every month, like if the third month goes by and it's not working, it's like I'm going to be measuring, logging back in, checking to see how many views I get, how many all these things. Well, and the thing with the teaser video, the Discord landing page. Let me just show you these things while I'm talking about them, because it's easier to show, don't tell, right? Whenever you can show something, this speaks a lot louder. If I say Discord landing page, this is what I mean. Show the damn thing. Okay, so this thing does not have Google Analytics, so I have no idea how many people will land on this page. Now, if I put the right YouTube video on there, I don't know if I trust YouTube's analytics, because it seems like their numbers might be a little wonky. Might have a lot of bots, big bot problem. But if I put this video, if we click over to YouTube, has 27 views. If I start running YouTube ads and this video jacks up to 1,000 views, then I know the ad's at least working. Especially if if I use a separate advertisement, if I create a new advertisement like this video, for example, this video that you're watching right now, this is one long video. It's 58 minutes. I could run this as an ad, I think. Actually, is there a length limit on ads? I don't remember. That might just completely ruin this. I might have to cut it all down and put, this is like part number 2 or whatever, and be like, hey, if you want to see the other half of this video, you got to click the link. But the idea there is that now I have some analytics. Okay, like I can't put Google Analytics on the landing page. It just doesn't support it. So it's kind of a bad landing page, but in that regard. But it's quick and easy, and it's there, and so it's like I can sit and think for 5 days about how to create a landing page, and I could probably figure it out eventually, but I might give up, when I'm halfway through or whatever. This is just how life goes for me. So I'm trying to use what's working, and I just saw this Rubik's Cube here. That's another story. I would like to tell you the story about that. It's not really just about solving it. It's more about like the system that I have to solve it, and the graphics I made, and this course I was going to try and make and sell. And that one actually it's actually pretty close. I've worked on it several times over the years. And this is kind of one of my strategies, is like, let me just kind of move the ball forward a little bit, and then hopefully I'll come back to it later and finish it up. And I never usually do, but the Figma one, I took another crack at it and got it a lot further. And I'd love to show the system. I'll give it away for free at first if you'll give me a few likes, so I can then potentially sell it later to other people. So, where was I though? Well, the cannabis is why I get scatterbrained and why maybe why I can't finish things, but it's also why I like working on things. So that's that motivation madness right there. And I was gonna say, showing you my notes, that I take a lot of notes, and there's a lot of crazy ideas in here, and I have so many notebooks full of notes, and so like I've always thought like I should be able to just sell my notes. Like people should be interested in this. There are people interested in these things. I guarantee you, there's millions of people who'd love to see my notes. Well, maybe not like in raw, unedited. Gotta like figure out what the heck I'm talking about. Sometimes I don't know what my notes are talking about, but here I'm talking about like selling NFTs and just how to structure the system so that I was so in the that thing that I did earlier that I showed you, the proof application. It's like this whole NFT webcoin thing. I don't know if I want to get into talk. If you want to talk about NFTs and fundraising, raising money to build a business, which is sort of what I need to do at this point, we could talk about that. But my life is actually fucking crazy, and it's like, click the link, join the Discord community, come and meet me. Let's talk about things. That's really all I need at this point. If you can, throw money at me, $10 or $10 a month. Eventually, I'd like to raise thousands or millions or even billions, because that's when cool shit starts happening. If I could raise $1 million, I guarantee you I could impress people with it. Now, it's going to cost a lot of money, and it's going to take some time, and it's going to be, about $1 million worth. So, but I think it could be impressive. I think if we design something cool and we make something cool, especially if people get something like a hat or a t-shirt, and a lot of people do. Well, if you pay $1,000 for a t-shirt, you might not be so happy. But if you join a community that creates a business and creates opportunity and pays your money back, that's sort of what the NFT thing is about. Sort of what stocks are about. Now, the crazy thing about stocks that I sort of figured out as I was writing that proof letter is that stocks are a way that a company can create money, essentially, for themselves without having to pay it back. It's like an IOU that's not an IOU. It's basically like free money, and that's kind of crazy. It's based on the faith in that company, like loosely based on that. And so I was thinking about a way to kind of have a stock system where the company guarantees the value of the investment basically by just offering to buy it back at any point. And so they're essentially just dollars, like company dollars, that you're giving the company the dollars, and you just get like an account with them essentially that says, here's how much you've given us, and then we'll try and pay it back kind of if and when we can. And that might be like zero of your investment, or maybe the company starts throwing out like, oh, you gave us $100, thank you, here's $200, please come again. Or if you'd like to just leave your money in the company, we'll put it to use, and but we'll increase your account by from $100 to $200. It's like a checking account, but like it's sort of an investment, right? That's what you're doing at a bank, but they're taking all the upside. So anyway, but stocks are kind of risky because the company doesn't have to stand behind them. The company just spends all the money, and then when the company goes bankrupt, they're like, oh, sorry, like game over, everybody loses. Now, with the other alternative, with the company trying to back the investments, if everybody came for their investment at the same time and the company has spent most of that money, or some percentage of it or whatever, then they're obviously illiquid or whatever, and they can't resolve all of their debts, and so it wouldn't necessarily work. It's only when the company starts making money that then they're able to cover all their debts. And then they build all this like credit essentially, and people want, they feel confident in investing in that company. So there's I don't understand stocks and like valuations and venture capital and like funding rounds and angel investors. I mean, there's so much bullshit that, it's like I should probably look into these things. Maybe someday I'll have to deal with it, but I'd like to make some money with a little bit of money. So it's like spend $100, make $200. Spend 1,000, make 2,000, wash, rinse, repeat, right? If you can repeat a money-making operation, you have a money machine. And so that's the objective here. So if you give me $10, or $10 a month. Right now, I'm going to spend it all on advertisements. If I could spend $1,000 a month or $10,000 a month or even $1 million a month on ads and just keep growing, if people are interested and like, they want to throw the money in to like help the community, it wouldn't take a lot of money from people. But like, if it takes me a month to get my first paying member, which I already have one, my Uncle Tim, I'm sure I can get my dad to do it. I don't know if I want like all my family to be in there. Like it's not really the point. Like my family, I've told all these things to my family, and they don't really care about these things so much. It's sort of just like, dude, do something about it. Like we can't help you. So they're not the ones. I mean, I need to find my people. I need to find people who are web people, software people, haven't made money yet, haven't succeeded yet. You're still hungry for success. If you've got like a few million in the bank and you live a moderate lifestyle, so you're pretty much retired and you're just like, sorry, dude, I don't care. Like, I understand. I need people who care. I need people who want to help me. Learn web development, marketing, social media, all the things. Create companies, create value, create great software, create great experiences. Like, through this whole mastermind thing, I think I could sell tickets to an event. Like if I get 1,000 people and I take like the best like 10 of us and be like, we'll learn about each other, but like the coolest 10 people or the smartest 10 people or the richest 10 people or whatever, to be like, okay, we're going to go and host this event and other people can join, but you have to buy a ticket. And if you can't afford a ticket, you can apply for a free ticket. And so now it's this like cool thing where it's like, okay, we all, we voted on like the top 10 people to go. And there's another X number of people who are going to pay money to go. And, optionally, like you don't have to. And then there's also going to be some people who get, free ride based on, making some money. So like if the trip costs $1,000, I could sell you a ticket for $2,000. So then I could, pay for people to go, pay for myself to go. And so moving money around and scheming is, it's useful, but it's tricky. You gotta actually do good shit. And so like, well, what if we hired event planners and organizers to actually throw a badass event? Well, it depends on what you think is badass. Like, are there going to be strippers and booze? Because that's what some people might be into and not others. So there's a show called Billions, and there's an event called The Mic. I believe you can ask. You can probably ask the search engine to figure it out. I think it was season 6, episode 2, maybe. I forget. But anyway, the AI helped me figure it out, and it seemed to be correct that there was a convention of like multimillionaires and billionaires, and it was hosted by, I think his name was Michael Prince. He was the he's a billionaire in the show, and he's like the host of The Mic, and it's like his thing. And so I think it'd be a cool name. My name is Michael, and hosting The Mic could be just a cool like idea. And maybe I can't get any billionaires for a few years, but maybe I can get a few millionaires. My Uncle Tim, I think, is a millionaire. I'm not sure if he'd admit that on camera. Now I've spilled the beans. Sorry, Uncle Tim. So anyway, if you saw his house, you'd know he's doing pretty well. He drives a nice new Corvette, and but not always. All right, so I have a hard time finishing ideas. I think I said everything. If I pay money to run this ad, I would like to get some money back, because if I have, $100 a month to spend and I'm making nothing, that's a bad, like system, right? Like if I can spend $100 and get let's say break even is like the starting point, right? I can get 10 people to give me $10. If you don't want to sign up for a recurring monthly thing, like I completely understand, just $10 one time, I value my money too. I'm pretty cheap and particular about what I spend my money on. But if you want to learn about like internet marketing and all the cool things I've been talking about and like really help me, I'd like to do something special for those people who are willing to spend the $10 a month, like, talk about all these kind of bigger ideas. And so, well, I mean, if you give me $10, like maybe 10 or 10 a month or whatever is the same thing. I think in the beginning, I think would be somewhat fair. Figuring out like what people get for their $10, contributions, whether it's 120 a year or just $10 once or whatever, like I have spent a lot of time thinking about it because I'm trying to like trick people into joining in a way. I'm not. Like I've said, if I would like to refund your money, I'd like to. Well, so the thing about NFTs is that it's a way where you can buy something tangible. The problem with it is that to buy an NFT, you need a crypto wallet, and to set up the crypto wallet, and it sounds a bit shady. I don't think it is. I think people actually make money with it, um, but it's not easy. I wouldn't be like, hey, click on this ad, go to the site, sign up for a wallet, and then put some money in there, and then use that to buy some Ethereum coins, and then go back to this other site, and then go find my little NFT thing, and then you have to transfer the Ethereum coins to the NFT, and now you own this little digital thing that I can't even really explain. Like, I mean, that's a hard sell, right? So it's more like Discord community, give me some money so that we can get the ball rolling. It's a commitment. It's like, hey, decent idea. Let's go with it. Now, this is an hour and 10-minute video. I have too many ideas. I need focus. So really at the beginning, if you're looking for like $10 worth of value, like go get Netflix. Like there's other better value out there. But if you're willing to see this through in the long term, that's kind of what I need. Like don't sign up for $10 a month and then come and complain that I'm not doing anything, because right now the Discord server's dead. I paid 5 or 6 Discord admins on Upwork, $5 each to join. It's really $10 each after their fee. But there's a few people who joined. There's a few people from like some games I've played with that joined a long time ago that aren't there anymore. Even though I ping everyone sometimes, I don't really know how Discord works. Getting the notifications and like the flow and getting people in there to talk about things that they're interested in, like doesn't have to be about me and my ideas. Although like I'd like to find people who are interested in me and my ideas. So I got to work through all this stuff. But I guess the point was in the beginning, it's more of like a support group for me. It's like just come hang out, watch me grow. This cannot possibly take more than a year to get like a sustainable income where I'm like, okay, now I have $10,000 a month to spend. Let me go build a studio, change this, like upgrade myself, like get some nice clothes. Like maybe I wear a badass suit and tie, or at least sometimes. I have a suit, doesn't fit real well. Well, I guess my wedding suit, I don't know if it fits anymore. I've been putting on weight. So I need to do some more running. I should probably do a run before the kids get home, which is going to happen any minute. My wife doesn't want my kids on camera. In fact, I was doing this, was it yesterday when they came in? I don't think it was yesterday. It was a couple days ago. I was doing this when they came in. I was thinking about using that as like this whole advertisement, teaser video or whatever. But then the kids came on the camera, and I was like, oh, I don't know if I want to blast my kids off around the internet because of whatever. Now it's not that big a deal, but we could talk about that. Should I try and get my kids to become YouTubers to make like some easy money? It's probably not a good idea, but right now I'm struggling so much. Like it could be a good opportunity. Maybe I could focus my energy to help them rather than trying to focus on building myself up. So I've thought about that a lot. There's a lot of crazy stuff going on in the world. If you're a parent and you want to talk about that kind of a thing, like there's a lot of ideas and there's not a lot of answers. Like, how about sex? You gonna talk to your kids about sex? Are you a guy and you have daughters? Like, I don't know how that's gonna go. Like, my dad talked, to me about sex, but like, there's a lot of questions. There's a lot of problems. There's a lot of age appropriateness that needs to be figured out. And life is hard and confusing, and if you're not careful, you might find yourself miserable. And so, if you can help me, I will try and return the favor tenfold, the best way I know how. It might take me a few years, okay? It also depends on how much people help. Like, if I have a handful of people doing a ton of work to help out, and like most people are just absent and not helping me, then like I'd be much more inclined to like, if I become rich and famous, to lift up the people who have helped me. And so I really want people to come and help me and feel good about it. And we can all together rise up, build awesome companies, make billions of dollars, do amazing things. Like, guys, if you built $1 billion building, I'm trying to remember if that's been done before. We should look that up. Because a $1 billion building, there's not many of them in the world. Like, some of the biggest buildings are like hundreds of millions, but $1 billion building is massive and like one of the wonders of the world, sort of a thing. and we spent 200 billion. We could have had 200 of those, like wonders of the world, for the amount that we spent on the Ukraine war. And that's crazy. And like, are people getting rich? It's like, well, I don't know. The defense contractors who charge $1 billion for planes actually have massive expenses, and but there are a lot of people making money. And whether it's legitimate or not is a whole nother question. But Elon Musk says it's one of the biggest scams in history. And it's possible our government is corrupt to the bone, like drinking baby blood, worshiping the devil, pedophiles, cannibals, whatever. Like, it might be actually some of the shit I've seen is either like extreme misinformation in a very sick, twisted way, or life is actually sick and twisted. And I'm kind of leaning towards the second one. So, like, I need some help. There's a lot of stuff that needs to be done. If we fix the internet, we fix the world. That's my Twitter profile bio. I have like no followers on there, and it's depressing. But I guess I'll leave it at that. I'm getting exhausted. The kids are actually going to come through the door any minute, and I think it'd be better to wrap this video up. Click the link. I'll see you on the other side.